welcome to my channel Creative Art. I am Nilima and today we are going to make one of the richest art forms of India, that is Tanjore painting. Thanjavur has a unique place in the Indian history of art. An original Tanjore painting can cost you anywhere from 10,000 to 60,000. It completely depends on the size of painting as well as the artist and composition. These paintings can be characterized by rich and vivid colors, simple iconic compositions with glittering gold foil overlaid on simple but delicate gesso work and inlay of glass beads, precious and semi-precious stones. Friends, even a small size of Tanjore painting can take about 15 to 20 days of craftsmanship, and that is the reason why it is so precious. It is also believed and said by the Tanjore painting artist that a Tanjore painting can bring fortune to you and your home. So friends, please give it a try, make it yourself, and let's continue the tradition of this beautiful art form from India, that is Tanjore painting. In this video friends, I have shown you each and every step to make a Tanjore painting. It literally took me about 6 months to collect all the data, visit the artist from Tamil Nadu to learn and make a Tanjore painting and share this knowledge to all of you. To learn the making of Tanjore painting from an original artist can cost you anywhere from 35,000 to 60,000. That also depends on the size of painting. But through this video friends, I'm going to tell you all the steps and all the secrets I have learned to make a Tanjore painting. I have basically divided the whole painting process in 5 steps so that you can give it a try at your home by just watching my video. The first step is base preparation, drawing or tracing the design, that is your choice. Friends, first of all, we will start from preparing our base. For base, it is highly recommended to use a plywood of at least 0.5 to 1 inch thickness. It will completely depend on the size of your painting. If you're going to make a bigger size of Tanjore painting, you should definitely select at least 1 inch thick plywood. This time friends, I'm going to make a small size of painting which is about 10 into 12 inches. So I'm going to use this canvas board. It is quite hard and stiff. I have selected a plain and smooth canvas board which was my perfect choice. So now friends, first of all, I'm going to show you how to prepare your base. The same way you can do it for your plywood piece. So this time I'm going to consider this canvas board as a plywood piece and show you all the steps to start from zero. So for preparing my base, I'm going to use a piece of cloth. This is a white cotton cloth which you get for about 80 rupees a meter. So I have just bought half a meter for rupees 45. So first of all, what you're going to do is you'll place the cloth on your canvas in this way, leaving at least 2 inches from your canvas board. Using a pencil and scale, do the marking, and then using scissor, cut the fabric to its size. Now friends, before placing this fabric on the piece of ply, you have to at least wash it before an hour. So what I'm going to do is, in my bowl, I'm going to take some water and wash it, because you want the fabric to be smooth and should be fixed easily. So this is one of the important steps you should do. Squeeze it gently. You have to do the washing part at least an hour before you do this process. Okay, now I will let it get dry. Now friends, in a bowl I'm going to mix Fevicol and some water. So here is our cloth ready. What I'm going to do is mix the water with Fevicol. You can use a spoon to do it. I'm just using my fingers. Mix it nicely so that it is thin enough. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip the whole cloth in the bowl in this way. Take all that Fevicol and water in cloth, dip it nicely, and then I'm going to place it on my piece of ply. So in this way you have to place it on your piece of ply After placing it from the center, start stretching the cloth outwards, okay? So that there are no bubbles and no wrinkles on the cloth. Okay, once you have done it, lift the canvas in this way, turn it out, start pulling each edge and place it with the base in this way, okay? Start pulling each side and place it. You have to stick this side, stick it nicely with the base. This is my last side left. I'll make all the corrections. Check very nicely that your base is bubble free, it is smooth and tidy as well, okay? In this way, level up the whole surface as well as all the edges, you can see. And then finally start stretching your last side, which is this one. And in this way, you have to stick the last side to the back side base. Okay, so you can see that all the four sides are sealed. The center is smooth and plain. Now I'm going to let it get dry overnight and the next day we will start working on it. Okay, after we have kept the board to get dry for overnight, it has got dried up completely and the cloth has completely stick to the board. It is plain and smooth. It absolutely looks like a canvas. So now friends, we are going to make it much more smoother by applying a texture paste. So the traditional recipe to make the texture paste. So now friends, we are going to make a texture paste which is going to include gond. It looks like this. It is just the natural available gum from trees. This is also used for making laddus or eating. As we are going to do it the traditional way, so we are going to use a marble dust powder. I highly recommend this gravel art brand because this is the finest marble powder I have received online. And chalk powder, okay, these are loosely available and it may cost you like 40 rupees for a kg, so that is fine. So your first step is going to be, friends, you have to take out this bubble gum. It looks like chunk of glue like this. So you have to take half cup of this gond and fill up the full cup with water, let it stay for overnight, and then you're going to receive a thick consistency like this. If you get time, give it a good mix in the morning so that you may receive that thick consistency of gond, and this is almost ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all purify this gond so that any disturbing materials or unwanted things will be out of it. So I'll directly pour it through a net. Okay, if you see that there is more chunk of gond remaining in the cup, you can add some extra water and let it stay for more few hours so that it will dissolve in the water and you will get a pure gum like this. So it is purified. I'll keep this cup. I'll use this much remaining, which is the remaining gond again, because I'm going to need it for my next part also. So this is how the Arabic gum looks when you prepare it at home. Okay, I highly advise you to prepare it at home rather than buying in shops because you don't know what they are giving you in that bottles. So this is the gond we have got. Okay, so now in my next container I'm going to add 4 spoons of marble powder. 4 spoons of marble powder with 2 spoons of chalk powder. And there's traditionally one more powder they used to use, which was called oxide powder, which comes in like yellow color, but I was unable to find it anywhere, whether online or just anywhere. I was unable to find it, so I'll just skip that part because I think even this mixture works very well. And friends, I would advise you to add something which will prevent this paste from fungi or insects. If you do have ants or insect problem in your home, try to use a good varnish or like frame your paintings so that
it won't catch ants. I'm going to add a lot of Arabic gum in it, and then give it a good mix. Okay, I actually want to make the consistency very thin because we're going to give a thin layer on this canvas. Mix it properly. I'll add some more. I want the texture to be flowing. Now give it a very good mix. You should not see any bubbles or any chunk of powder. Now friends, the paste is ready, and you can see how thin I have prepared it. You have to prepare it very thin. Okay, then I'm going to use a flat hair brush like this. Use some paste in my brush and then start applying it from a corner. Okay, in this way. Okay, so now I think we have done our most important step, which is preparing base. So now friends, we will let it get dry and then finally proceed to our next step. So now friends, our base has got dried up completely, as I have left it overnight to let it get dry. So now we are going to smoothen it up using a sandpaper, and this is 220 CW sandpaper. Okay, just fold aside, tear a piece out of it. So I think this much is enough. You have to hold it in this way. Okay, 4 fingers on the back side of sandpaper like this, and 1 to support. Then you have to start standing from one direction like this. Okay, first of all I'm going to do it horizontally, and then we will do it vertically. Okay, I think it's smooth. It was already smooth, but I wanted to make it very finely smooth. Okay, so now I'll dust off the extra marble powder in this way using a flat hair brush. So now it is very smooth and ready for our next step. So now friends, our next step is to trace the design on our base, and for that we're going to need our reference and a carbon paper. You can use any color carbon paper. I'm going to use the yellow one. I have selected a design of peacock. It is very simple and elegant, and I hope it would be easy to do for all of you. So first of all, I'll place my carbon paper in the center, exactly center like this. Stretch it out and then find the exact place for peacock. Okay, I think it is right here. Now friends, using tape, secure all the 4 sides in this way. So now friends, all the 4 sides are secure, and now we are ready to do this tracing part. So this is one of the important steps, so that you may not wonder your steps while doing the lining part. So what you have to do is, you can see the design, right? You have to do outlining of the whole design in this way. Be very sure, and if you don't like the design, you can make or draw your own designs or correct the shape of pattern while you're doing the tracing part. I generally do my corrections in this stage itself, because this is a very basic step. You simply have to go all over the design from the outer side. Okay, do the outlining of the design and try to do it in an exact way so that it will be easy and good to do your cone work. So friends, in the same way, I'm going to do the tracing part and then show you how does it looks. Okay, so now friends, I have finally completed doing my tracing part, and to check it, I'm going to remove the secured side from one side and see, okay, the tracing of this side has come well. Remove the second side, turn it out, and you can clearly see the tracing we have done is beautiful and clear. So now friends, I think you have got the clear idea that what way we have to do the tracing part. And if you see there is some incomplete parts like this, you can directly use a pen and make a connection to the design. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the whole tracing part in this way, and I'm also going to place a boundary line. I'm going to do it from all the 4 sides. So now friends, as you can see here, the design is at the center and we have done a perfect border. It's completely at the center. I find this part and this part is left empty. I could have either use a bigger size of design or I can just create my own design. So I'm going to make a design in this part. I'm also going to create one extra feather from here, okay? I think I should use a pencil. So I'm going to do it and then show you. So now friends, I have finally completed doing my drawing part. I have actually changed the design a lot because I generally like to do things my way. So this is the painting we are going to do.
After completing the first step and when your base is completely dry and you have done the drawing part, now we can move on to our second step. So friends, our second step is going to be to do the expensive and delicate gesso work, which we also call as doing the cone works. So now we will be preparing the paste for our cones.
Now friends, in my next step, I'm going to show you to make a perfect cone for your relief painting or Tanjore painting. The recipe is going to be the same for both, but for this one, I'm going to make small size of cones, okay? So for a small size of cone, you're going to need this kind of wrapping paper, which I have cut into small square or rectangular sizes. This should be small like this. Whenever you're going to select this kind of paper friends, make sure that you select a little bit of thick wrapping paper as compared to the thin ones, okay? So this ones you'll get like for 15 or 20 rupees and the thin ones you get for 5 rupees. So what you have to do is friends, first of all, use your left hand, place your index finger on the 1/3 part of the paper. So this is the exact 1/3 part. I'm holding it from the back side, thumb. Press it and then rotate the same corner inwards. Then roll the whole paper holding this point in this way. Then use a small size of tape. Secure this corner first, the corner you have rotated. Then you can see one more edge over here, so you need one more tape for that. Okay, so now you can see that my cone is absolutely ready. We are going to fill the cone only this much part, okay? This will be just for packing because I'm going to make small size of cones. Let me show you once again. You can easily make a very sharp and good cone. So now friends, our cones are ready. So let's prepare the mixture to put in this cones. For that, you're going to need 3 important things. This is chalk powder, marble dust powder and Arabic gum. I have already prepared this Arabic gum by soaking the Arabic gum chunks overnight in water to get this kind of consistency and then purify it using a net. Next, I always advise you to use the finest marble dust powder. These are available online and this is the perfect choice of hobbyist and professional artists, and this is also my choice. This is from Gravel Art marble dust powder and you can use chalk powder. It is also locally available. So the consistency for this paste friends is going to be 1 spoon of chalk powder. So this is my measuring spoon. Fill it up in this way, level it up using a palette knife. Just easily level it up. 1 spoon of chalk powder and then I'm going to add 5 spoons of marble powder. So now we have added 5 spoons of marble powder. First, using a spoon, mix both the powders well, the marble powder and chalk powder. And now I'm going to add 2 spoons of Arabic gum. So this is my first spoon and then second spoon. Now start mixing it up. So I hope you have got the recipe that you have to add 1 spoon of chalk powder, 2 spoons of Arabic gum and 5 spoons of marble powder. And try to use the best quality items. Now I'll give this mixture a very good mix. So now friends, I have completed mixing it. Now you can clearly see the consistency. It has to flow like the batter you prepare for cake. Okay, see, it is thick but still it will flow in this way. So now friends, we're going to fill up our cones. Process is very simple. Spoon by spoon, start adding it in cone. This much is enough. Here you can see friends, I have just filled the half part of cone. I have filled the cone till here. The half cone is empty, and now I'll start sealing it. First I'll use a long tape and seal the complete ending in this way. The matter is only till this part, so I'll start folding it up. Tape in here and then fold it, fold the edge. A final tape placing. So now friends, our cone is ready, and you have to prepare this small size of cone. The smaller the better. Okay, I'll fill up the next one. So in the same way, I'm going to fill up more cones.
So now friends, our cone is ready, and be careful that you have to make a small size of cone. So this is I think a 3-inch size of cone, and making it small gives you full control of doing the designing work. So now friends, first of all, I'm going to start the designing work from the main design of the peacock feathers. Then we will move on to the mid parts, and finally then we will be doing the smaller parts. You have to let the cone work get dry, especially if the two designs are close to each other. You have to let one part get dry, and then only you can do.
So in the same way friends, we will be doing these parts. Now friends, we're going to make this design part, and you have to start only after when this part has got dried up, which is the main stem part. Always start from doing the lining first, and then you can continue doing the filling part. You can always keep a pencil beside you so that if there is any changes in shape, you can do it using that pencil. Okay, so friends, this is how you have to do the designing part. I'm going to show you for this one. Okay, so now friends, I have got what the shape I want, and in the same way I'm going to do designing on all over the parts, and then we will start placing the Minas. Okay, now friends, for the tail part, the design is going to be a little bit different, which is actually like place a dot and then pull it downwards, place a dot, pull it downwards in this way. As it is a feather, so I have decided to do something different over here. So now I will let this part get dry and then do the same designing in the middle. I'm going to place them in alternate way so that they won't get mixed up with each other. Now I'm going to show you to make this design, which is actually very simple, but people do complicate it. Just start from the outlining part in this way, and then start filling the inside. To create some volume, do some extra filling. Okay. Okay, so in the same way friends, I'm going to complete the whole designing part and then show you to the border part with Minas. Okay, So now friends, after completing the whole clay part, this is how it looks when it has got dried up. The designing is done very smoothly and very evenly. I took my most of the time doing the clay work because the more accuracy in your clay work will bring up the gold foil much more beautifully.
So now friends, we have finally completed doing all the designing part. So now let's start placing few precious and semi-precious stones using the same cone work.
So now friends, we are going to start placing the Minas, and first of all I'm going to show you how to do the border line, and for that I have selected this kind of a rectangular Minas. You can also select square Minas, as this time they were not available, so I just bought the rectangular red color Minas. So now friends, one by one I'm going to start placing the Minas from the border line, and for that I'm going to use Fevicol. I'm going to place the Minas in this way. So I'll just mark the spots to place Minas. Place them accurately in a line and then press it. Okay. Once you have placed all of them in a line, gently press them and fix them at the spot. Okay, now we will let this part get dry for some time. So now here you can see friends, I have completed placing all the Minas and the Fevicol has also got dried up. I'm going to do this box as square, but I actually like linearity more, so I'm going to do it step by step. Let this first line get dry. So now friends, when our first side of line, which were this ones, have got dried up, I'm going to place the second line on the same part attaching to the Mina. Now friends, both the lines have got dried up, so I'm going to place my final lining, which is the border, and we have to do it thick. So here you can see the design is clear and this part will be level up. So this is how you have to do the Minas work. I'm going to do the same from this side. So let's turn it around. So now friends, it is done. This is how you have to do the border part. Now we have to let it get dry and only then we can start doing our next step. Okay. So now friends, after completing the whole cone work, I have let it get dry for at least 24 hours and now it is hard and stiff enough to do our next part. So now friends, you can see there are a few blank spots which are left on the neck design and on the wing design. So in this place friends, we are going to place beautiful Minas. So I have here a few green Minas. I think I'm ended up with the red Minas, but I have this size of a bigger red Minas, which I'm going to place on the wing red Minas. And if you don't get this kind of Minas, you can also use this kind of stones which are available. These stones cost you less as compared to the Minas, and you can also buy the high quality stones like these ones. So for this particular design, I think I will be using these stones because I don't have the red color in small ones. So we will be using these Minas. So now friends, we are first of all going to place Minas in this part. You can see this part in between these two designs on the wing. So now I'm going to start placing from this bigger size of Minas, and I'm going to use this kind of pointed stick. You can also use a toothpick. Place single drop of Fevicol on all the round part design you can see here. You can simply just use your hand to pick them up. So now we have placed all these Minas. After sometimes when the Minas have got stuck to their place, I'm going to do the cone work in this part. If it is a round Mina, go all around the Mina in this way. I'm going to do it alternatively so that each and every Mina gets its shape. And then friends, start making the second round when the first one has got dried up completely. Okay, so now friends, we have got the perfect rounds, and you can see there are these beautiful designs where I feel there is a bit emptiness. So I'm going to place one drop of fevicol. I have already placed it here, and then place Mina in these parts. Just press it a little bit. It will get stick to the clay. I'm not going to do any more designing on that part because I like it in that way. So friends, in the same way, I have placed Mina here in this part and this part, and every curving part you can see. Okay, those really make the design more pop-up and beautiful. So now friends, you can clearly observe this bigger size of designs look a little bit empty. So I have thought to give it one more round of design using my cone. So I'm going to give it a very thin lining from the inside in this way. Then lift up this beautiful diamond stones and place it on the top. Then give it a gentle press. Okay, so that it will get into the clay. So this is how you have to fill up these designs. I have already shown you to do these part. Now I'm going to show you to do this tiny small designs. So now friends, we are going to place stones on this small parts, and you can see there are two round designs. So for that I have selected this white diamonds and pink diamonds. Okay, so first of all you have to make one drop in this way. And then finally give a covering line of same cone. Now just let this lines get dry, and only then we will place our second line. Okay. And now I'm going to place this pink color diamond on the liner. If there is any empty part and you want to make it fill up, you can do it right now. I think these two lines have come up really good. So now I will let it get dry, because we have finally completed doing all the designing part, placing the stones and everything. So now friends, we will let it get dry and then move on to our next step. So now friends, I have finally completed doing my second part, which was tracing, then doing the cone work to complete the whole designing, and then finally placing the Minas. You can clearly see the Minas completely changed the look of this beautiful painting.
So now friends, our designing part and laying the Minas is finally completed, and this is how beautiful it looks. As you can see, the video has already continued so long. That is also because I did not want it to skip even a single part or a single notation while making a Tanjore painting, because each and every step in this painting is equally important to bring out that last piece of beautiful Tanjore painting. That is one of the reasons this painting is so costly. So friends, please to watch my next video. I'll surely link all the details and links of my next video in the description box below, so that you can continue on making this beautiful art from India. So friends, please to subscribe my channel and do press the bell icon to get notification for the next half part of the Tanjore painting as soon as I publish it. So enjoy your day friends, and let's continue painting.